Catching up on any NFL game is easier than ever before.
Going deep for it all. Devontae Smith. He has got it. Touchdown.
Your Eagles are world champions again.
The Zone is the home of boxing.
Really spurs you on, gets you going.
Let's make history. Pure power. There's no way back from this, surely.
The following program is recommended for those 16 and over, as it contains sporting violence, possible bad language, and flashing imagery.
Well, a very good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Fight Week. I mean, it feels, Darren Barker, at the moment that that is a relentless statement here on DAZN. What a period it's been, not just obviously with big fights announced. We've just had Xander Sayas, of course, and Jerome Boots Ennis just announced in the last 24 hours, but in ring as well. Watch Moses Atalma, didn't we, shine on the biggest stage of his career so far against Jermaine Franklin. Of course, this week as well, not just the action here on Friday in Altrincham, but on Saturday night, the heavyweight collision at the O2 as well, live on DAZN, Derek Chisora against Deontay Wilder. But firstly, for Pat Brown, I mean, I can't believe it's been 12 months, just over a year since he made his professional debut here. I mean, the pressure on him that night was astronomical, wasn't it, really? Making your debut is one thing, but to do it in front of a crowd like that is another, against what turned into be a real tough test in Grandoni. But in terms of what he's been able to do so far through those five fights that have taken him around the world, he's not doing too badly, is he?
No, I mean, first off, what an introduction he's been to the professional ranks, you know. A terrific fighter, all action. I think he ticks a lot of boxes. If you're going to buy a ticket to watch Pat Brown, you know exactly what you're going to get. And I think that's what's exciting about him. With the talent that he's proved in the amateurs, I think the future looks very bright. But, as you said, at some point you have that acid test, and this is certainly one for Pat. For Vasil Ducar, look, we've admired, every time he's come over, he's proved to be that tough test, isn't he? When you look at the names, he's taken the distance. Remember the absolute war he had with Chris Billum-Smith? He took Chev Clark the distance as well, gave Jordan Thompson a late scare, didn't he, when he faced him as well? But what we saw in the Atalma fight with Franklin is that, look, it's a good measuring stick for being perhaps a bit of a test on paper and asking the questions you expect when a young fighter's doing well. But also, if he can win in devastating fashion, it's a good measuring stick for seeing what he's ready for now. Yeah, absolutely. Like I say, there's that time, there's that period when you've got to take those tests. Rounds are important, but look, you've got a man in Ducar who's looking to change his life. A win here changes him. You know, we're talking about Pat, obviously, but he's got an opportunity. As you say, he's only been stopped once. Mike Perez, what was it, 4 years ago? He's tough as they come, you know, and he packs a punch, and he's going to be in this to win it. So, yeah, don't blink. Yep, that your main event, Pat Brown versus Vasil Ducar. 7 fights to preview here this afternoon, though, on what we're going to call the preview show, live on DAZN.
Back where it started, a debut to remember.
Oh, a tremendous performance from Patrick Brown.
Birmingham next, ended in 2. Good old Manchester, an early night.
Heavy shot from Pat Brown. Shots all over, inside a round.
Belfast, outdoors, lift off.
Pat Brown there, big shots, referee's gone in.
November in America, a year's end.
What a performance by Manchester's Pat Brown.
Now we get bigger, better. United we stand. 2026. Let's have it.
Yep, we'll be hearing from Pat Brown a little bit later on in the programme, but as I'm sure you're fairly accustomed to now, we bring the fighters up in different sections to preview all of the week's action. Very happy to say joining us on stage now is the twins making their official Matchroom debut on Friday night. Joanne Croft, Garan Croft. I'm pretty sure the man in the middle is Frank Smith. Don't laugh at your own.
You've been buzzing.
At least you're sure about one of us.
Don't laugh at your own jokes. It's not attractive, Darren. Frank, first question to you. Look, it's all about investing in the future, and Pat Brown is a great mark of that in the main event on Friday. But when you look at the twins here, why were they 2 fighters? When you look at the amateur pedigree as well, Commonwealth Games gold medalist, Commonwealth Games bronze medalist, 2 European silvers as well. Why were they 2 fighters that you wanted to work with?
Because I think they've been moving very quickly. They've been kept very busy, you know, before they signed to a major promoter, and that's been the key. And, you know, we've always looked at them and been interested in being part of that journey. And they're 2 fighters that are willing to move quickly as well. You know, and that's the key as well now, is we're under so much pressure to deliver great fights. And these are 2 guys who are willing to take proper fights and move at pace. It's about developing people in the right way, but obviously at the same time, you know, building them into the stars we believe they can become.
Joanne, welcome. I'll come to you first, not just because you're younger by a minute, because if you watched Small Talk a couple of months ago, you also lost the big game of rock, paper, scissors to decide who boxed earlier on in the card. But look, this is it, official Matchroom debut, 5-0, your first 8-rounder. How does all this feel to you, and what's going through your mind this week so far?
Yeah, it's great. It's exciting. I think once you get here today now, it's you get a real excitement. Not so many nerves. You're excited to get out there and yeah, fight week started, and just can't wait to show people what I can do and what he can do as well. So yeah, looking forward to it.
And how does it feel to be doing all this together? Yeah, it's rare, but it must be special.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's good to be doing it together as well. Our boxing journey started together, and we've been across the world together. So to start this journey as well together it's a good way to start.
Do you spar with each other?
We do. I mean,
is it like fighting yourself?
Not so much anymore. I mean, there's been a few bust-ups in the kitchen back home when we were kids, but nah, it's pretty controlled now, and it's good rounds actually. And
it must be good, you know, healthy competition between the two of you. It really drives you both forward.
Yeah, definitely. And whether that's in the boxing gym or outside, whether it's on the running, you know, on the track, any sort of training, I think we're competing against each other. So yeah, it's a healthy competition for sure.
Garan, welcome. Similar scenarios as well, of course. 5-0, your first 8 rounder, much like your brother on Friday night, an official matchroom debut too. What motivates you, do you think, this week to match your biggest occasion so far as a professional with your biggest performance?
Yeah, no, camp's been brilliant, but it's just about taking the week in. It's our first time here, obviously, but like I said, we worked hard enough in the gym, so there's no reason on Friday night why both of us can't put on the best performance of our pro careers so far, so that's what we're looking to do.
Jamie, just quickly, you don't often make mistakes, but you know you got them the wrong way round.
Have I?
Yeah.
Well, I've been stitched up here because...
I think it is a little April... I think it's an April Fool's Day prank, to be fair.
I'm not sure if that's an April... Which one was the April Fool?
Got it wrong in the back room as well.
Oh, and they didn't...
Yeah, and they didn't tell you differently.
I was just saying how perfect you usually are.
Well...
And you just got... to be fair, you did just get an award, or you're getting an SJA.
Yeah, well, I'm going to find out on April.
It's going to be very tough.
I'm not going to win it, but I think I've been stitched up there by the team. But anyway, we'll carry on.
You mentioned training camp there.
It is very difficult, by the way, because I thought they were pranking me as well, to be fair.
It is a tough one. Who is the better looking, do you think, out of the two?
You tell me.
You mentioned training camp there. What's it been like working with Anthony Crolla, the legend, someone who's been there and done it?
Yeah, brilliant. So I think we've been up here now almost 2 years. So yeah, really enjoying it in the gym. And like I said, you got William on it Friday night as well. So there's been a great buzz in the gym between the three of us. And Ant's got so much knowledge to pass on, and in the environment he teaches it as well. There's no better place to be for us.
Brucey bonus, Frank, if one can get the knockout.
I'm not sure you're allowed. That's what I'm not sure you're allowed to do that, but we will do. Yeah.
Maybe that was an April Fool's.
It's in their contract. Yeah. There you go then. Yeah.
Final predictions then, gents. What can we see from you on Friday night?
I'll definitely be going for a finish at some point. Not sure what round, but yeah, just want to look good doing it as well.
Final word.
Similar to that, just want to put on my best performance, and everything else will follow suit.
Great stuff. Well, me and Darren are going to move out of the way and bring you both to the front for a picture with Frank Smith.
Well, you messed that up, Jamie, didn't you?
Up there with one of the worst moments of my career, I think, so far. Well, strict instructions from the matchroom team to get the seating arrangement correct. But, yeah, look forward to welcoming the Croft twins on their official matchroom debut on Friday night. Fights 1 and 3 from 5:10 on Friday. Here is a reminder of what is coming your way then on Friday night. 7 fights from Planet Ice in Altrincham, live on the DAZN broadcast at the usual time of 7 p.m. Alfie Middlemiss, trained by Jamie Moore and Nigel Travis, alongside Pat Brown, opens things up, looking to move 6-0 in his first 8-round contest in a good test against Lewis Morrison. We have the rematch as well for the Northern Area lightweight title. Cannot wait for this one. Josh Blenkiron against Robbie Coleman in the chief support. Will Crolla faces Glenn Byrne, and of course the main event is Pat Brown versus Vasil Ducar, the toughest test so far. Before that though, 3 fights on the prelims. Commonwealth Games gold medalist Joanne Croft, who we just heard from there, kicks things off at 5:10. Matchroom and DAZN YouTube channels. Former world title challenger, the main man Jordan Thompson, is back as he looks to get back to winning ways in this his second fight at heavyweight. He faced the tough David Spilmont, also over 8 rounds, and concluding the prelims is Joanne's twin brother Garan Croft, Commonwealth Games bronze medalist, concludes the prelims on Friday night. Very happy to say joining us on stage now is Jordan Thompson and Alfie Middlemiss. Frank, let's come to you first of all. Jordan Thompson, when you look at the journey so far, look, he rolled the dice against Jai Opetaia, had to wait an awful long time to get a comeback opportunity, but he got that in another fight that not a lot of fighters were stepping up at heavyweight to take in Lenny Apero. But to see him back now gave a great account of himself stateside and getting some much needed momentum. How important is that?
Yeah, completely. I think when you look at Jordan's career, people just questioned him taking that Opetaia fight, but I think it was the best decision. He wasn't going to stay at cruiserweight for long. It was an opportunity that came along. He's a massive puncher. He could have changed his life in that fight, but now he builds back up into heavyweight, which was always the natural progression for him. You know, it was a very close fight with Pero after many months out of the ring. And if he would have started the fight with, you know, if he had been more active prior to that, he would have won that fight. And, you know, you would have seen Jarrell Miller against Jordan Thompson for the WBA Eliminator. But the key is now is activity, building him in the right pace and then putting him into those big fights. As we've seen with Dave Allen fighting Filip Hrgovic, the relationship with Queensberry is very good, making great fights. There's big heavyweight fights to be made there with Jordan. He talks well, he looks the part, and he delivers knockout performances, and you'll see that on Saturday night. So he's got everything ahead of him, and it's exciting time. And this is Jordan, by the way, that's Alfie, just in case.
Well, for Jordan Thompson, Alfie Middlemiss, for Alfie Middlemiss as well, how good is it for him? Because when you look at what he's been able to do so far in the journey, steps up to 8 rounds as well, but opening the live broadcast on Friday night, why was that so important in terms of that development, but also he deserves it as well?
Yeah, for sure. He's a massive character. He's doing big things outside of the sport as well in his acting career. You know, he's playing Phil Foden.
Phil Foden off Timu, yeah.
Better looking, though. Better looking than Phil Foden. So, yeah, look, it's all part of that progression. He's a massive ticket seller, very popular, and we want to build him up. And I'm excited about what the future holds with Alfie. You know, with all of the young talent we've got, it's about building them, developing at the right pace, and he'll be headlining these types of shows, you know, over the next year for sure.
Alfie, what did it mean to you when you look at what you've been able to do in the ring so far in such a great gym as well, but to get the recognition and put pen to paper with that Matchroom deal as well, this your official Matchroom debut?
100%, you know, it means the world to me to sign with Matchroom. A massive opportunity for me, and now I can build momentum through this year. Like I say, the gym's thriving at the moment, some big characters in the gym, even though I get unbelievable stick off Dave Allen. You know, I'm learning all the time and improving as a fighter, and I believe you're going to see that on Friday. It's a good step up in opponent, and as you keep stepping up them levels, I'm going to show the best of my ability.
Yeah, you mentioned stepping up there. Lewis Morris is definitely a step up. Do you feel it's the right time for this kind of opponent?
100%, you know, I'm sparring top operators in the gym and I'm looking great, you know, I'm feeling amazing, and I believe you're going to see the best of me as we keep stepping up these opponents. And yeah, I'm excited to showcase what I can do, and I believe I'm going to get the stoppage on Friday night.
Is that important to you, do you think, to make the most of the occasion, Alfie, and win in style? It would be your first stoppage as a professional.
Yeah, like I say, I've got a great engine. As you keep stepping up them rounds, you're going to see the best of me. I can adapt to each fighter, and yeah, I'm looking to put on a showcase performance to show the best I can do.
And just finally, how's Pat Brown looking? I know you get your sense of humour, obviously, from Dave Allen, but what do you learn from a fighter like Pat?
Yeah, he's dangerous. Yeah, he's definitely menacing. Sometimes I stay out his way when he walks in the gym. I don't know which Pat's going to turn up. But yeah, he's fantastic, and he's on a great roll at the moment, you know, a knockout streak, and yeah, he's looking to extend that on Friday, and I think he will most definitely.
Well, best of luck to you, Alfie, on Friday night. Look forward to that one. Alfie Middlemiss versus Lewis Morris opens the live DAZN broadcast from 7 p.m. on Friday night, and we're also looking forward to the return of this man, Mr. Jordan Thompson. Still have absolutely no idea how he ever made cruiserweight. I think he came in just £38 over the cruiserweight limit in his heavyweight debut. But Jordan, for you to be back, and what I said to Frank, but more importantly, some much-needed activity and momentum. How does it feel to be back on the big stage so soon?
Honestly, man, it's a pleasure. After the fight in Florida, Frank and Eddie, they came back, they said, listen, man, you've done a good job. Unlucky, but we're going to keep you active. We're going to get you back out and then get you to a bigger fight. So our eyes locked in on our kid over there Friday night. We're going to go out there. We're going to do the job. We're going to look good doing it. And then let's see what comes after, but can't look past him. I'm locked in, man. I'm excited, though. Back in Manchester as well. I don't know if y'all can hear, but I am from Manchester, born and bred. I am a northerner. I've been down south for a bit of a long time now, man. And I'm out of the crocs. I've stopped drinking coffee, and I'm back on my northern vibe. So now you're gonna see a true northerner doing what I do best, getting back in there and just putting on a show, man. Explosive, relentless, unapologetic. I can't wait, man. It's gonna be exciting.
And what are the ambitions now, Jordan? You know, title-wise, what goals do you have, and what have you set for the future?
I like belts, man. Like you see, as a lot of you know, my family, right? Dad 5 times world champion. My mum was a world champion as well. So I know challenging for the world title sounds great, and it's an achievement of some sort. But I lost. challenging for a world title is never going to cut it at my dinner table. You know what I'm saying? It just gets brushed under the carpet, so to speak. So I will be a world champion one day, but I know in boxing there's a way to go about that. You got to take the right fights at the right times. I've got a great team behind me. I've got a great team around me, and then we'll see what opportunities come. I ain't one to say no to an opportunity, as I think I've shown, and time will tell. But I like belts as well. The IBF European, which, did I win it against you or defend it against you? By the way, I know you said before I had a late scare. I had to give the fans the value for the money. I was in control of the fight.
Did it on purpose?
You know what I mean? I just thought, you know what I'm saying, I'll show that I can get up and whatnot. It took a few boxes, but he's a good fighter. But Pat's dangerous, you know. Don't mess up. Pat's going to do it for the Northerners, man. Do your thing, Pat. But I'm looking forward to getting some more belts. The IBF Europeans collecting a bit of dust. Cruiserweight as well, so I'm looking to add some to the collection. I've got the best team behind me to do that, so I'm looking forward to see what we can pick up, man.
How much better do you feel at heavyweight now? How restricted do you feel you was down at cruiserweight because of the weight?
You see what it is, even though it has a big toll physically, it's more mentally what that does to you. Knowing that you're drained, knowing that you're weak, knowing that you've spent your whole camp flipping, making weight instead of training. But the reassurance that I've got now, being at heavyweight, being my natural weight, and just being able to go out there and do what I do, not second guessing myself, and just being able to go out there and express myself, it's a nice feeling.
Is it about getting back to winning ways in style, artistic violence back on Friday, Jordan? What do you see in your mind?
Violence. It'll be artistic, but it'll be violent.
Great stuff. Well, great to see you back as well, Jordan, so soon, and best of luck to you as well, Alfie. We're going to bring the respective fights up now for a face-off. We'll start with Jordan Thompson against David Spilmont. Part of the prelim action, Matchroom and DAZN YouTube channel on Friday. As I say, Jordan Thompson back in action. Had to wait a long time after that defeat to Jai Opataya. Fell short, and the roll of the dice comeback against Lenny Apero stateside at the back end of last year left the States frustrated that he could have done more perhaps, but wants to just enjoy Friday and get back to winning ways. Thompson versus Spilmont, heavyweight boxing to look forward to on Friday night. And opening the live broadcast this week will be this one, Alfie Middlemiss, back in action. As we said on the chat there, Darren, a good step up for him as well. Only had the 1-6 rounder straight into weights. Says he's sparring 8 rounds in the gym. Why not do it for real? Bit in with Lewis Morris. Drew last time out over 10 rounds for the Midlands area title in October last year. This is all part of it, Darren, all part of this step up, the verbals, the mental warfare and the test in the ring.
Both fired up. Big opportunity for both. As you say, first on the broadcast, big opportunity.
Yeah, look forward to this one, opening the live broadcast at 7 p.m. There's also a rematch, and it's safe to say we can't wait for it.
Two very good fighters, capable fighters, well matched.
It's close, come on, boxing on the bell.
10 rounds in the lightweight division. Every possible percentage is so important in fights like these. Brilliant contest this.
You can't fault it, can you, from both? Oh, the good work there from Blenkiron.
This is good from Coleman, really good work. Back comes Blenkiron, brilliant action.
Oh, what a right hand from Blenkiron.
What a wall. So much on the line for both here.
This has been fantastic, and it really has. This is just great stuff.
Last few seconds of this epic fight for the Northern area. That was one of the best fights we've seen on the prelims.
It's absolutely fantastic from the first bell.
Josh Blenkiron.
And it is Josh Blenkiron in a classic.
Some of your best work there, Darren Barker, on the montage. You said it was a classic. You said it was one of the best fights we've seen on the prelims, and I think that's a fair assessment. It was at the back end of January, wasn't it, where these two, Josh Blenkiron and Robbie Coleman first did battle for that Northern Area lightweight title, and it's safe to say they certainly did it proud. What an affair it was. It was a fight that Josh Blenkiron won by the narrowest of margins. Let me come straight to Frank Smith. Look, Josh was due to be facing Joe. How things have changed. Was this the obvious, natural fight to make, despite it being so soon after their first clash?
Yeah, for sure. What a spectacular fight. It was a shame the first time around it wasn't later on the card as well, because the atmosphere in there was spectacular for it. And they both deserve it. You know, like, I know Josh obviously got the win. It was a brilliant fight, a close fight, but they both deserve it. And this is what it's all about, seeing great fights and giving people opportunities as well to progress through the sport. Because, you know, when you put on performances like that, people want to see you again. Winner or loser. I know everyone wants to win. It's easy for me to sit here and say. But, of course, when you put on performances, people want to see you back. And that's what we've got here. That's why we're seeing this fight so soon after. And, you know, both guys will go on to fights from here because they deliver entertainment. And I can tell you Friday night will be no different. I believe it will just follow on like round 11 of that first one. Robbie, welcome. When you got the call, did you say yes before the phone had even rang?
You don't need to ask me twice. I was absolutely buzzing with the opportunity. I thought it would have been later in the year, but it's come quicker and I'm ready for it. I've kept myself right after the fight. I was straight back in the gym, locked in, and I've got the opportunity, so I'm here now.
It was an absolute cracker. It really was one of the best we've seen for sure. When you look back at the fight, obviously it didn't go your way. What do you believe went wrong in that fight?
I just think over-eager, wanted to win too bad. And sometimes when you want to win too bad, your performance goes a bit off. No disrespect to Josh, he's a good fighter. Both put a good show on, but like I say, there was a few adjustments that I look back on and we've picked them up in the gym, and now I'm back, so I've got to put them out on Saturday, Friday night.
How important is that for you, Robbie, to get things right this time?
Yeah, it's very important. Like I say, it's good to entertain the fans and stuff like that, but I'm a winner and I want to win on Friday night, so I cannot lose. I want this win.
Josh, welcome. New opponent to what he'd been preparing for, but a very familiar face, of course, in Robbie Coleman. When the fight was put to you, when you heard the news about Howarth being out, what was going through your mind? Because it's a different opportunity for you in some ways because of how exciting the first one was, but also to really rubber stamp your own rivalry with Robbie Coleman.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, I was a little bit gutted. You know, we had trained for Joe, but obviously when I got told it was Robbie, you know, again, I just thought it's going to be another war. But yeah, 100%. Ready to go, trained hard, stayed in camp, and ready to go again. Carried on from round 11.
Obviously, important to win this, but is it just as important to win this wider for you this time, so you can put this rivalry to bed once and for all?
Yeah, no, 100%. Just hope Robbie's got a new gum shield. You know, spat out a few times last time, but again, no disrespect. It was a good fight, and it will be wider this time.
Have you got new gum shield?
I've got a new gum shield. I was going to super glue it in as well. But yeah, like I say, the gum shield, I was waiting, pushing the fight, so it wasn't deliberate, it was just one of them things, but we've got a new gum shield fitted, so yeah, that's a good thing.
Sometimes rematches are the same, sometimes they're very different. Do you both truly believe that we will see the opening bell carrying off from where we left off? Josh, firstly to you.
Yeah, 100%. You know, again, he's going to come to win. I'm there to win. We're just going to let our hands go, let our hands do the talking and just leave it in there. But I'm ready. He says he's ready. Let's go.
I feel like we're both exciting fighters. I'll always bring the weight rate. I'm always fit. I'm always ready. I'm always in the gym, keep my shape right. And like I say, the phone was buzzing, and I answered it, and I've got the fight. So I'm always ready on Friday. I'll bring it.
Final predictions?
I'll win wider this time. Yeah. Could see a stoppage. See what happens.
A very good win.
Okay, can't wait for this one. Can't wait. You're not lead commentator on this one, though. Oh, you've been demoted. But so have I after that.
Yeah, it was special.
Of the programme, let's bring the gents forward then for a face-off, a brilliant fight to look forward to, the rematch. Just 62 days, I think it is, after their first meeting. It was brutal, it was bloody. It was a fight that I believe in the ring was announced by just a point with the deduction that would have meant it would have been a draw, was corrected to 96-94 in favour of Josh Blenkiron. A chance for redemption
Look, we know styles are going to gel. It's going to be fireworks from the first bell. Round 11, it's going to follow suit. We're in for a real treat here.
Yep, can't wait for this one, and that will lead us in nicely to the chief support, the return of William Crawler.
William Crawler.
A rapidly improving William Crawler. Another early finish from William Crawler. Wasted no time. He cannot stop putting them away.
William Crawler is on a devastating KO streak.
Every shot that Crawler threw there didn't miss.
Crawler does it again, inside around.
Great shot.
Oh, he's hurt. That's a high left through the legs of Sakari. All over the place. Another stoppage. And next up. That was an absolute cracker of a shot. He is back to winning ways, and you can see what that means to him.
Yeah, good to have Glenn Byrne and William Crawler on the stage with us here this afternoon. And similar scenario here, Frank. Will Crawler was preparing for an English title eliminator. Big credit once again to matchmaker Tom Dallas, because he finds Glenn Byrne, unbeaten Irishman. He's put it on his Instagram, headed into the Lions Den. He can't wait for this opportunity. But for Will, just firstly, what have you admired about his attitude? Because he suffered the setback, but the way he's rebuilt, what have you admired about that?
Yeah, I think, look, Will's always been under that pressure, as a lot of fighters who come from fighting families, of, you know, the shadow of his brother, and now coming through that, and the pressure from day one of everyone comparing him to Anthony. But what I've been, you know, what I've really liked from Will is how calm and composed he's been. Obviously, it's never easy to lose as an athlete. You know, again, I'm not saying as an athlete myself, but it would never be easy to lose. And I think, you know, for Will, he's shown at such a young age how, you know, calm and composed he is. He had that win back in December at the Indigo, which was key for him, and now he goes into a proper fight. You know, he understands the sport, and he was saying to me outside, he knows he needs to put in a big performance where people go, wow, he's back. You know, and a loss, as I've said so many times, shouldn't define a fighter. It should be how you bounce back from that and what you do afterwards.
Glenn, welcome. What does this opportunity mean for you, your first 10-rounder, the biggest occasion of your journey so far? Obviously, you've only just boxed as well, I think, a fortnight ago on the Michael Conlon card in Belfast, but in Manchester against a famous Manchester name. What does all this mean to you and why?
Yeah, this is a huge opportunity for me. It's one I'm ready for. I feel like the last few fights I've had have built me into this position. I was supposed to be fighting an 8-round domestic clash 2 weeks ago, and my opponent pulled out, so the camp rolled over. I was training 8-10 round sparring, so it's nothing new to me. I'm ready. I'm here to make a statement and to put on a great performance.
What do you make of Will as a fighter? And in your opinion, what makes you a better fighter out of the two of you?
Yeah, I would watch a lot of William's fights. I think he's a decent fighter. He's a strong fighter. What I can take from watching him and what I think I do better, I think I'll be better technically than him. I think I move better, and I do think on Friday night you'll see why I'm better.
And despite the step up, how are you confident? Why are you confident you can upset the apple cart here Saturday night?
I think the opponents I've fought...
Friday, sorry. Keep saying Friday.
I think the opponents I've fought have been of a higher level. I think the rounds I've done a tough 8-rounder. As I said, I only had a 6-rounder there 2 weeks ago. I've had a long camp preparing for a good domestic clash, so I'm ready for this fight. It's on a week's notice, but I am ready for the opportunity.
Will, welcome. Good to see you again. Look, we know boxing can be a fickle game at times. At one point in your career, you're coming off the back of 5 first-round knockouts. Everyone's talking about William Crawler. You have the setback. I just wonder, now you've bounced back to winning ways, how has the motivation changed for you? Because watching you backstage, it seems there's a bit of a new chip on the shoulder to prove any doubters you might now have wrong.
No, yeah, there's a massive chip on my shoulder because, like someone said it earlier, I'm a winner. There's nothing worse than losing. And then when I got beat, Anthony said to me, you remember the feeling, but I also remember my wins had like 4 comments on 5 comments. I got beat. The comments went to 240. People have been waiting for this to happen, and it inspires you on. And then, 1 minute I'm being spoken about as the next prospect coming through, the next big thing. Then all of a sudden I'm fighting for my career in December in London on a Wednesday night. I'm first on again, but then I wanted to thank Frank, the team, and Eddie, and they didn't have to get me out in London then. And as I said to you earlier, I feel like I owe them an electric performance Friday night, and that's exactly what they're going to get. And it's in a performance I need to get people speaking about me again and to silence all the haters.
So I'm calling this a 50-50 fight. What do you believe he won't be able to handle on Friday night?
Yeah, on paper it is. Glenn's an Irish prospect coming up. I'm an English one coming up. It's a great fight, especially made on a week's notice. It's a great fight, but I just believe I'm a better fighter. I believe I'm a better fighter in all departments, and I think that'll show Friday night.
Do you not think you're going to have to go looking for each other, Glenn, in this fight, looking at both of you stylistically?
No, I don't think so. I think we'll stand in the middle of the ring, we'll fight. He's obviously going to come forward. He has an aggressive style, but I'll meet him. I don't fight on the back foot. I'm happy to stand. I'm happy to fight and show a good style of boxing as well. So it will be an entertaining fight for the fans.
And you beat Will Crawley. You push on to massive things. How do you see yourself doing it on Friday, do you think?
Yeah, when I beat him, I do move on to the next stage of my career. It's a great opportunity for me. I beat him any means necessary, whatever the way it is. I'm there till the end, and I do see myself victorious.
And for you, Will, last couple, I mean, great time to be a domestic fighter at 154 pounds. The likes of Junaid Bostan, Ishmael Davis, Bilal Fawaz as well. You beat Glenn Byrne, you get into the conversation for those domestic titles once again.
No, yeah, 100%. Like you say, we're called main event Friday night. The only one above that is main event, and I believe beating Glenn Friday night, when I do beat him, it opens up that door again, and the English title is vacant. I'd love that towards the end of the year. I'd love to try and get that, and I just want to be in good fights. That's all I want. I just want to be in good fights, entertain people. People go away from the thing and go, Joe, that was a top scrap, that. I enjoy it. I love doing it. I think you've got to be a bit, there's something wrong with you if you've got to be a boxer, but I think everyone in here who's boxed, I love it. There's nothing better than the adrenaline when you're in there. There's generally nothing better, and a big win Friday night opens up some massive doors for me.
And you said you owe Frank Smith an electric performance. How does that look? How do you beat Glenn on Friday?
I do. Obviously, see it from yourself. What would you describe as an electric performance? That's what I'll bring Friday night, and that's what Frank will get as a thank you.
Okay, can't wait for this one as well, Darren. Lots of great fights to look forward to on Friday. We bring Will and Glenn to the front of the stage for a face-off, 10 rounds. In the super welterweight division then, Will Crawley targeting the big names domestically, about 154 pounds. Glenn Byrne has answered the call, and he's not here to make up the numbers. Here to cause an upset and change his career in the process. Crawley the puncher out of the two, 7 by KO of his 9 wins, 5 in the first round as I mentioned. Big fights on the horizon for the winner of this one. And of course the chief support will lead us in nicely to your main event on Friday night.
We're underway then, the professional career of Pat Brown. Oh, lovely uppercut. The crowd now really rising for Pat Brown's performance, and he finishes it in style.
Fantastic shot. Terrific combination. One of the most exciting and ferocious on the scene, Pat Brown. Goverty's a heavy shot, torn over inside a round. Pat Brown's power the difference. Oh, just sealed the deal. Big things planned for Pat Brown.
Well, here we go then, your main event preview on Friday night. Just over a year on, actually, since we were here in this press conference room, I believe, Darren, the 28th of March was when Pat Brown made his professional debut at Planet Ice. He returns, but this time having moved 5-0 with 5 knockouts in what many are calling the first real acid test. A man in Vasil Ducar picked for toughness, picked to pose questions at a fighter that many are calling the future of British boxing. Frank, let me come to you straight away off the bat. Pat Brown, first of all, from what you've been able to see from him so far, is it safe to say he has lived up to the hype and turned into must-see TV?
Just slightly. No, look, I remember when Pat Brown came to our office and he sat down and he said, I just love tear-ups. And I was like, right, that's a man after my own heart. I'm not into that. I'm not always into the tactical side of it. And Pat Brown has delivered in every fight. exactly what he said he'd do. You know, we've had some of our best nights. I've been lucky enough to be in boxing for 16, 17 years. We've had some of our best nights in Manchester, in the arenas up here, the venues up here, the fight fans. Pat Brown's someone who delivers that. You know, he, both inside and outside the ring, he delivers a huge fan base, and he can go to the top of this sport. You know, Vasil Ducar is obviously another step up, and the right type of step he needs right now. But we honestly believe Pat Brown can become undisputed cruiserweight champion of the world, and then do the same thing at heavyweight. Not putting too much pressure on him. I'm sure he does it himself. But yeah, the journey's only just getting started.
How quickly do you think Pat will move? Look, we have to always look into the future. Eddie always talks about the path. He's got big business to take care of on Friday, which is what he'll say when you talk about the future. It's more a question for the promoters. He's second 10-rounder, first title opportunity. How could the next 12 months possibly look for Pat at this early stage?
I believe he'll be fighting for world titles, for sure. You know, he's such a good talent, and he's proving it every time he steps in the ring. Of course, he needs to develop in the fights with the right opponents at the right times, but he's ready. He's ready to go. He can be a superstar of this sport, and trust me, he will be.
Pat, welcome back where it all began, just over a year ago, back to headline once again. I mean, as I said in the intro, the pressure on you that night was monstrous, wasn't it, to make your ring walk in front of all of your own people, professional debut live in the main event on DAZN. When you think about everything you've been through since then, how does it feel to be back here fighting for your first title where it all began?
Yeah, it's great. Obviously come here today and all the memories come flooding back. And yeah, this is where it started. I remember everyone was there cheering and stuff, and this is pro boxing. If you want to be the best and you want to make it to the top, the pressure comes with it. And I believe that the way I started my career, and obviously 5-0 and stuff, and it's definitely a step up, but every fight has been a step up for me. Every single record is a positive record. They've all come to change their careers and change their lives. And yeah, that's what I'm all about. I don't want to be one of them fighters where I'm just, you know, as they say, you're boxing an Uber driver like Dave Allen was a few weeks ago and stuff like that.
He wasn't an Uber driver.
Yeah, he wasn't. But I don't want. I want to just be in good fights and see what I'm about. And I understand people get excited and they want to fast track me and stuff, but I've not gone past 4 rounds yet, and I need to learn about being in deep waters. And I do believe the man to my left, he will do that, and it's going to be a tough fight, and I know what I'm in for.
Where were you at as far as mindset's concerned? You mentioned rounds there, not gone past 4. Vasil's taking some very good fighters the distance. Honestly, though, are you bothered about rounds, or do you just want to destroy everyone that is in front of you?
It's hard to say, really, because when I'm outside the ring like this, I'm not that bothered. I'm just easy come, easy go. And I definitely do want the rounds, because when you get into the top, you need to have that experience. It's so important, because there comes a point where power can only take you so far, and everyone's going on that I'm in this wrecking ball and all that, but I do enjoy actually boxing and showing the technical side of things, which I'm excited to show this Friday, because I know I'm going to have to do that against Vasil. So yeah, I don't really feel anything until I'm walking to the ring, and then something just ignites in me, and the penny just drops, and then yeah, as soon as I let them go, if I hurt them, I'm on him like a rash.
Vasil, welcome. Great to have you back on a Matchroom show. From what you have seen of this young man in Pat Brown, what do you think of him as a fighter, and why?
I think he's on a great place. Great question. He's a good fighter. I saw it. He's strong, aggressive. I must be ready at first from the first round, and I hope so. When we want make a good fight, we need a good opponent. So I think we can go together, make a good fight.
What do you bring to the fight that Pat hasn't seen before?
Myself inside me, the spirit of warrior.
Do you think, Vasil, the key for you to win this fight, as we spoke about earlier, is to take Pat Brown into deeper waters, which you've done against a lot of good fighters before?
I think the deep waters can be from the first round, because when the both side want go to the deep side, the deep water can go there from first round. We can start the house from first, second. So we see.
When everyone is saying, Pat, that Vasil's been picked for toughness, been picked to give you rounds, does that ignite anything in your belly to win the fight in even more devastating fashion? How do you deal with that?
Do you want me to be brutally honest with you?
Absolutely.
All this here is rubbish. It means nothing. You talking, everyone talking. It's all words. People haven't gone in there and done it unless you're a fighter yourself. And he's more than tough. He's experienced and he's a technical boxer. He punches hard. I don't need to sell the fight. If you're a boxing fan, you know that this fight this Friday is going to be a barnstorm. It really is. And you know I come to fight. You know Vasil comes to fight. I don't need to. Like these are just simple questions, and I get everyone needs to hype it up and all that stuff, but we're going to have it, and it's going to be a good fight. I respect the man. This is what I want in my career. You know, he's helping me out. He's going to give me rounds. He's going to give me serious lessons to learn. And I know this. I'm not going to be delirious going into certain fights. I'm moving quick. And, yeah, it's just, this is part and parcel of the game. And, yeah, I'm just taking it one step at a time.
Pat's ready for war. You're ready for war. What is it you're willing to do to win, Vasil, on Friday night?
How we talk about it, everybody can have plan until the first punch. So we see what the situation was, and the real fighter is when can reaction for situation. So that's it.
Pat, final one to you, then I'll ask you about something that I know you care about, and that's the support that you get, and rightfully so. How determined are you to put on a performance for them? And I guess just finally, what is your promise to them on Friday?
I know we're saying about the questions, but I will answer the same question as Vasil. We're both going to punch each other up. It's simple, it's boxing. You got two hands, and you're going at it. So that is how the fight's going to go with our styles. He ain't a runner, I'm not a runner, and we're just going to collide like two titans. So we'll see who the last man is standing, and if someone isn't standing, we go the distance. It's a win-win. I've had a good night of boxing. But in terms of the fans, they're not fans. I say this every single time. They're my family, they're my friends. I know every single one of them. And yeah, once again, it's at, you know, Planet Ice. I used to go there as a kid, ice skating and stuff. Wasn't very good. But yeah, it holds many memories, and it has a very special place in my heart now, especially since the debut. And they're all pumped up, they're ready, and yeah, they'll be bringing that old school sort of atmosphere again. I'm going to have a word with Frank, I'm going to have a word with Eddie. You know, flags are sort of, you're not allowed to bring flags in anymore and all that, but I've got a really meaningful flag that it got sneaked in last time, and it was up there, and it's got my cousin on there, it's got the Olympics on there, and it's brilliant, and that's what it's all about, like the flags and like the horns and all that. That's what Ricky Hatton had, and I want to bring all that Friday, and it will definitely be there.
Well, gents, wish you the very best of luck on Friday night. Cannot wait for this one. Your main event, the acid test on paper. That's what everyone's saying so far. Pat Brown versus Vasil Ducar, your main event live on DAZN. We'll bring the gents to the front of the stage now for a face-off. Vasil Ducar, Darren, here to pose the questions you'd expect to be asked of a fighter at the early stage when they're doing well. But let's actually see if we can listen in.
So now I know how
He's no nonsense. Pat Brown, isn't he, Darren? It was your question.
I love it as well. There's two good, honest pros there. Just know that they're going to throw leather on Friday night. and what will be will be. You know, big opportunity for both, an acid test for Pat Brown, an opportunity for Vasil Ducar to change his life. Yeah, it's one to really keep your eyes on for sure.
Well, a final reminder then of what is coming your way on DAZN Friday night. 7 fights from Planet Ice, then live on DAZN from 7 p.m. Alfie Middlemiss, who joined us earlier, kicks things off in the first good test of his career as well against Lewis Morris. Just 62 days after their first meeting, we have the rematch for the Northern Area lightweight title as well between Josh Blenkiron and Robbie Coleman. Will Crawler continues the path toward domestic titles in a good fight with a fired-up, unbeaten Irishman Glenn Byrne, who steps in to spoil the Manchester party before, of course, the main event, Pat Brown versus Vasil Ducar. Before that, though, 3 fights on the prelims. Commonwealth Games gold medalist Johan Croft, who we heard from a little bit earlier on, kicks things off in his first 8-rounder, 5:10. Matchman DAZN YouTube channels. Former world cruiserweight title challenger Jordan Thompson also back in action, and he is promising artistic violence in his second fight at heavyweight. And Garan Croft concludes the prelims, also looking to move 6-0 as he takes on 8 rounds for the first time. Enjoyed
Good card.
That.
Good card.
Enjoyed that. I can't help but feel I've been punked, though, because I spoke to the twins backstage and they told me I was right, and now I was wrong.
You think it's an April Fool's?
I'm not sure. I'm doubting everything. I can only apologise.
I'm with you, mate.
But I'm not sure. What do you make of Pat? I mean, look, listen, he's right in what he's saying. We have to be up here. We have to ask the questions. The questions he's probably been asked a few times before. But what I love about him is that he is just completely no nonsense. And every fight, you get your popcorn out and you're going to enjoy a ding-dong, as he says it.
Yeah, he's value for money. He understands it. He gets it. He's got plans to push on. But so does Ducar. You know, this is a massive opportunity. He takes a hell of a shot. He punches very hard. The pot of gold here for the winner's massive. But we're really building a fantastic momentum around Pat Brown. You know, the place buzzes whenever he fights. You know, the crowd come out in numbers, and he is certainly, if he can keep winning, a future star of this division and the sport itself. Who knows where he's going to end up?
Frank says world titles in the next 12 months.
I'm for it. Sign me up.
Eddie's already talking about Jael Pattaya, but Pat Brown's not interested in that just yet, because he has business to take care of on Friday night. Can't wait for that one. Join us from the weigh-in from Freight Island. If you are in the area, get yourself down there from 4 p.m. Myself and Darren Barker will be taking you through all of the action on Thursday evening before, of course, we look forward to all the action on Friday evening. 5:10, Matchman DAZN for all the prelims. Darren Barker will be your lead commentator for all the action on there, 7 p.m. live on DAZN. Thanks for watching the preview show, as we're now calling it. We'll see you tomorrow night.
Back where it started, a debut to remember.
Oh, a tremendous performance from Patrick Brown.
Birmingham next, ended in 2. Good old Manchester, an early night.
It's a heavy shot from Pat Brown. Shots all over inside a round.
Belfast, outdoors, lift off.
Pat Brown there. Big shots. Referee's gone in.
November in America, a year's end.
What a performance by Manchester's Pat Brown.
Now we get bigger, better. United we stand. 2026. Let's have it.